Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully it's not too loud. Um, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to tonight's stream. So, Merry Christmas for everybody who celebrates Christmas. I just wanted to say that to you. So, a couple things. Hopefully the stream is looking a little bit different. I'm using a different setup than I normally do. And so I hope it's coming to you nice and clear. I don't know how my sound sounds because I'm actually using my phone as my camera, and I think it looks a whole heck of a lot better than I usually look when I use my webcam that's on my computer. And so I actually have my webcam set up as a backup just in case the battery dies on this thing because it can. Hey, what's going on, kid? Let me know how I sound in the comment section because this is a brand new microphone. I want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife, Nikki. I told her that I wanted this microphone for Christmas, and she bought it for me, and that's awesome. I think it kind of gives a professional look to it. And I don't know, I'll have to listen. I've been wanting to use it. And so I wanted to do a stream. And so I was just trying to think of ways that, like, how can I do a stream outside of mattnews.biz so I could test out this equipment and test out some of this new setup stuff that I'm doing right now. And so this is what I'm doing. Um, so if you want any more information on the microphone that I'm using or anything like that, just let me know. The computer's doing a lot of stuff in the background, so I don't know if it'll glitch or anything like that. I'm just so worried about everything that's going on. But so what did I want to do today? What I want today, again, I wanted to test out my microphone and everything like that. But I thought this would be a good time to kind of talk about stuff that I really like to talk about. And one of those things is the Hebrew language. I really like. I've been studying the Hebrew language because I thought in my thought process is that I want to understand what the Bible says, and I want to understand it in the original thought, not just the original context, but the original thought process that a Jewish person would have. And so the Old Testament is their primary text, or would have been their primary text back in the time of Jesus. And so I thought, well, maybe I should learn Hebrew. Of course, in my studies, I learned that the oldest manuscript that we have is actually the Septuagint, which is in Greek. So maybe Greek is where I should be going, but I really wanted to get that Hebrew mindset. So I'm still going to learn Hebrew, and I'm thinking about learning Greek coming in the new year. I really want to try to learn these languages so that I can read and understand the Bible for myself. Of course, studying and getting with other people and getting what their views are and everything like that. So a couple new features that I've added to my stream, my channel, whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you're watching on any of those platforms, you can just shoot me a message in the chat section or comment section, whatever it is on whatever platform you're watching on, and I'll see that here. You'll also see it down below. That's one of the changes that I made, so you'll be able to see comments as they're coming in live, and hopefully they go away after a little bit and they don't start scrolling across my face. I'll have to fix that if that is the case. But the camera is also one. Again, I'm using my phone, so I'm doing a couple of things with that, and hopefully the sound is matching up to my mouth. If not, we'll have to find different means for that. But so let's get into it. Let's get into what I wanted to talk about today, which is Hebrew, because it's awesome, and I think that people should learn it. So what I'm going to do is actually pull up. I downloaded this thing here. I just downloaded it, so now I'm looking for it. Because I thought, like the way that I learned it, which is through the alphabet. I learned the alphabet first, and then I progressed from that. I progressed from the alphabet to what the vowel system, because one thing you're going to learn with Hebrew is that there's no vowel system. And so a lot of the Hebrew text you'll read won't have won't have those connecting sounds to them. It's all consonants. And so I don't have, again, I didn't really super duper prepare for this, but I just wanted to go over specifically the Hebrew Aleph Bet first. And then we'll look at an actual piece of scripture in Hebrew, and it has the English translation as well. And I'll kind of show you how I read that. So let's go. All right. Oh, it went off of me. All right, so I'm going to transition over here to my display, so you can see my display right here. I actually thought I had a picture-in-picture of my display. I do. So here we go. So here is a picture-in-picture, so you can still see me in the corner, and then you should be able to see my screen. I think it is focused on not what I want it to be focused on, so let's fix that really quick. Nope, not that one. This one? Nope, not that one. This is not working very well. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Again, I didn't super duper prepare, and so Nikki's probably shaking her head out there like, Matt, you should have prepared better. And I should have, but I was really excited to use my microphone. So I'm doing a lot of things here in the background. She just laughed, so she's definitely thinking that. All right, so bring that down. Boom, there we go. So now you should be able to see my screen. So this is the program that I use. It's OBS. I wasn't using it for a while just because Restream was doing a pretty good job, but then I got all this new stuff, and I was like, I want to try OBS again. So here we go. Let me get my pen out here. So I want to go over these one at a time. I don't want to try to do too much at one time. So what I want to do is just kind of go over the different letters. So what you have here is this first letter right here is called the Aleph. It's just how it sounds, Aleph. So with the Hebrew alphabet, whatever the word starts with, so this letter is, the name of the letter is Aleph. So that's what sound it's going to make usually. For the Aleph, Aleph is actually considered a silent letter, and so it's not going to make a sound unless the nikud, or the vowel underneath it, has a sound. We'll look at that later when we look at the scripture. I'll kind of go over some nikuds and stuff like that. Now, I want to make a confession here, guys. I'm starting to burp. I don't burp until I sit down, and then I start burping and coughing and sneezing and all kinds of stuff. So, anyways, let's go on. So this is the Aleph. This pen is a little bit thick. Boy, it's thick. We won't worry about it. Whatever. It's thick. It's just going to be a thick boy. Aleph, if you want to know how to spell, the pronunciation is Aleph, Aleph. And this next letter is called the Bet, B-E-T, Bet. So you can guess it makes a B sound. So you have Aleph, which makes an Ah sound, or it's a silent, but it usually makes like an Ah sound. Aleph. Then you have Bet. So this is where the Hebrew gets the Aleph Bet. It's their Aleph Bet. It's not an alphabet, because alphabet is Greek. It's the alpha and the bet, or the beta. So alpha, beta, alpha, bet. This is the Aleph Bet because it is, the first letter is Aleph. The second letter is Bet. If you notice, and I'm hoping it's showing up on the live stream. Ooh, wow. I'm hoping it's showing up on the live stream. But what you can see here is I'm going from right to left and not left to right, because that's the way that Hebrew is written, and this way it's read. It's read from left or to right, from right to left. All right. So now, here is a factor here. Oh, here I can change the line size. Yes. So here's a big factor. So you have Aleph, you have bet, then you have vet, vet. Now, these are actually the same letter, but what changes them is this little dot that's inside. This little dot that's inside is called a dagesh, and that gives it a hardening sound. It hardens. And so you'll see like this word right here, or this letter right here is one letter, but there's a dagesh in the middle. We'll get to that. I just wanted to show that to you right now. Even the same thing with this one. This letter and this letter, they are the same letter, but they make different sounds because they have a dagesh in the middle of them, a hardening dot inside the middle. So here we have the bet, and it's b because of the dagesh in the middle. And then we have the vet, which it has no dagesh in the middle, so it has a V sound to it. All right, so now let's go to the next letter here. The next letter, I'll keep the circle inside the dagesh there. So the next letter is gimel. Gimel, you can guess it. It makes a g sound. Gimel. Gimel. Next letter we have here is dalet. Dalet. One thing I wanted to do too is kind of show you how they are written. I can probably do that on the side screen here. So I'll go back over everything and then we'll show you how it's written down. All right. So we have Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet. This next letter here is a hey. It makes a h sound, h sound. So Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, hey. This one, now, I'm using a couple of different sources for this. So there's going to be some, I'm not going to say contention, but there's going to be some disagreement on how this next letter is pronounced because the more modern pronunciation of this letter here is Vav, so it's pronounced as a V. Now, there is a school called Master's Seminary, and they have a lot of their classes online. You can actually go to YouTube and find their videos, and they have all of their Hebrew classes and Greek classes there on YouTube for free that you can just watch. He says, the instructor in this class says that the Vav actually makes a W sound, so he calls it a wow, and that is the Masoretic Hebrew. And if you notice in the description of the video, I say, we're going to be looking at the Masoretic Hebrew because that's the biblical Hebrew, if you will. And so I tend to float between both. When I'm doing the Aleph Bet, I like to say wow, and I like to try to remember that it makes a W sound in the ancient dialect, I guess you would say, or at least, again, because I'm not an expert, I just probably know a little bit more than most people about Hebrew, and the instructor says that it makes a wow sound in the ancient context, so I am trusting him, and I'm going with the same thing. But again, it's one of the reasons why I float between the two, because if someone corrects me about it, well, that makes a V sound, not a W sound. I'm not gonna get too religious about it or too ornery about it because they might know more than me. They might speak in a different dialect than me because there are different dialects of Hebrew. But anyways, so we're going to call it the wow, but it's either the wow or the vav. So it's either like wow or vav, one of the two. There's no distinction. It's just a dialectic thing. All right, so let's review really quick. Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Wow. Now this one, we got to remember the Aleph Bet. Aleph Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Wow, Zion. This one is called Zion. And this one, and the way that you is like that, Zion. And so it has this sound, like a TS sound, like bats. Yeah, like bats. I'm actually going to grab something behind my camera here. So what I have here, and I'm actually going to go full screen really quick. I don't know how many people are watching right now. Transition. Nikki wants me to sing the rap. Is my camera frozen or is it just me? I don't know if my camera froze or not. Oh yeah, my battery died. Hold on. Bear with me. All right. So now we're using my webcam again because my phone died, and my phone is using the phone is acting as a camera. It's a better camera, as you can see. Like now my quality is horrible. Blech. All right. Anyways, so let's let this thing charge up a little bit, and then maybe I can go back to it. Maybe, just maybe. All right. Um, so I have this notebook that I've started. Right. Actually, you know what? Why am I doing that? Why am I using? Oh no! That's live on Facebook and everywhere for everyone to see. Be quiet, you in there. Nikki's laughing at me, guys. Everybody's laughing at me. I'm the laughing stock of Facebook. I don't know if you guys can hear her in there laughing. Nikki, I'm really actually hoping it's just you watching. All right. All right. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh man, I don't know if I can recover from that. Okay. So back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity. Okay. So I have here is I have a notebook here that I wrote all of the Aleph Bet in. And what I fill this notebook up with is stuff from a website called Hebrew for Christians. That's what I do with that. So yes, so I have Aleph Bet. So we'll go back here to the other one because this is the reason that I actually brought it up. The reason I brought it up here because we're going to go back here to our full screen. Because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I was looking at it properly. And I wasn't. Just on this one letter, though. So let's go back over here. We're going to erase this. It's not TS Zion. It is a Z, like Zion. That's the sound that it makes. So it makes like a Z sound. All right. So we have Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Wow, Zion. And then this next letter is Chet. Chet. So Chet is you can do it. You can transliterate it two different ways, CHET or just like a super capital HET. But either way, this makes a sound. So you'll get a lot of the gutturals. It's a guttural sound. That's where you get a lot of that from. All right, so my phone is charging again, but it keeps disconnecting. All right, so we'll just continue on, and hopefully I can get that camera back on. All right, Nikki, you're gonna have to stop laughing in there. All right. All right, so this next one is tet, and that of course makes a T sound. So we'll actually do like Aleph. This makes a bet. This is a vet. You have Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Then you have the V or W sound, Vav or Wow. Then you have Zion, and then you have Chet. Okay, hopefully that'll be a little bit more helpful. So now you have the Tet sound. So Tet. This letter is Yod, as a Y sound. Now here we got another. This is one word. So this is bet here, but again it makes either with the dagesh it makes either a B sound, or without the dagesh it makes a V sound. Same thing with this letter here. This letter is known as the kaf or the ka. I had to refer to my notebook here. So the kaf makes a I want to say it makes a CH sound. Or no. So the kaf makes a K sound, and the ka makes a CH sound. Okay? Actually, let me write that up here at the top here. So you have kaf, then you have cha. But again, this is one letter, or one letter. So you would say this is the kaf. All right. Then we have lamed. Lamed. I'll put an L, capital L there. Lamed. Mem. So I can keep track of them. Mem. Nun. Samek. So that makes an S sound. Then you have what letter is that? Ayin. Ayin. So now this one is another silent letter. It's silent until it gets what's known as the nakud underneath it. All right, so now we've come to another dagesh letter here. So one is hardened, one is not hardened. Now this is the pay, and this is fe. So you have a P or an F sound. Now this is the letter that hold on a second, I'm sorry. This is sometimes my notes get all jumbled up because I will start something and then I'll start something different. And I hate when I do that. All right. So this one, it's Sade, so it has a TS sound. Resh, so this has R sound. Now, here we have another word, another letter. So this is one letter, but it has two different ways that you can pronounce it. And the reason it has that is because you have this dot on the horn. I can't remember exactly what that's called, but just know that there's a dot on the horn, and that's what makes it different. So on this side right here, this is your, yep. Sometimes I second guess myself. I have to check my notes. So this is your shin, so it gives you an SH sound. And this is the sin, so it makes an S sound. All right. Again, you have a letter with a dagesh in the middle. This one is your tav. So this is your tav. So it makes a T sound, or it makes a TH sound. And again, this is actually, again, the Masoretic or the ancient Hebrew, or however you want to say it. But that usually it's just a T sound. Usually you just give it a T sound. You don't give it a TH sound. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody else knows. This one I'm kind of fuzzy on because I feel like it doesn't happen a whole lot in Hebrew scripture. Now, what are these down here? Now, see that this is the Hebrew alphabet. This is the Hebrew alphabet. These are different here. They have different things that they're doing. I actually don't know the difference between these two. I will tell you, I see this one more often than I see this one. But we'll go over those in 1 second. I want to go over the Hebrew alphabet one more time. All right. So we have Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Wow, Zion, Chet, Tav, Yod, Kaf, Ka, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samik, Ayin, Pei, Fe, Tzadeh, Resh, Shin, Sin, Tav, and Tav. This is Tav. You don't pronounce that Thav. It's Tav. So now these things right here are what's called sophites. Sophie. Well, actually, hold on a second. They have all this here, but like these are the sophites. One second. Actually, they forgot to put a letter here. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. This is actually a different letter. This actually usually goes right here. So tzadeh, kaf, resh, shin, sin. So this is kaf, and it has a Q sound. Q sound. Sorry, this is actually, I didn't know. Again, I didn't prepare too much, but this one's a little wonky here. But this is a kaf. This is a kaf, but a kaf ka. But it's like KAF. But this is cough, so QOF, but it has more of a Q sound to it. Then all of these are what's called I just said it a second ago. Sophites, the sophites. All right. So this one is this is a tzadi sophite. This one is your pei sophite. This one is a mem sophite. This one is a wow sophite. This one, or no, sorry. I didn't think that wow had a sophite. This one is a noon sophite. So that is a noon right there. And then both of these are coughs. So they both have the K or the CH sound. And then these things right here do different things. So this I'm not familiar with, so I'm not going to try to teach it. But they do different things to the letters. These are actually sort of nikuds, so they're sort of vowel movements. So I'm sure that that's what that is. So what are these right here? So these are two different things. One of them is called the Holam wow. They're both wows. I don't know if you can hear me still. But this isn't really part of the Aleph Bet, so I'm not really gonna go. But one of them is a Holam wow, and the other is something else. Wow, I can't remember what it is, but I'll get to it in a second. I'll get to it in another video when we do another one of these. So what I want to do again, I want to go through the Aleph Bet, but what I'm going to do is Nikki actually wanted me to do this, so I'm going to do it here. Go to full screen, transition here, and then what I'm going to do actually is all right. So we found this song a while back, and it's super catchy, but like it does the trick. It really does the trick as far as like getting it in your head. The Aleph Bet. So what I want to do is we're gonna play this video. I'm gonna turn my desktop audio back up. Play that. All right. You couldn't hear that at all? Sorry guys. Anyways, Nikki said he couldn't hear it, but I'm not going to play it again because I don't want to be redundant in the things I do. But just look up kind of like a Aleph Bet rap. I can even put it in a link or something like that you guys can hear. But so that was that. But I want to go back because I looked up this stuff in. I looked up this stuff for you really quick while the song was playing. So let's do this back. So these right here. Let's actually just erase everything here. Boop, 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 boop. Boom. I'm still kind of traumatized from my fall. Guys, you got to give me my courage back because I feel like a fool. Nikki laughed at me for like 15 minutes straight. Can't get over it. All right. So these two right here. Ooh. So these two right here. So this is your Holem Wow. It's a Holem Wow. Man, I should have stayed on my page that I had it on. So that's why I would encourage you if you're going to start doing Hebrew, definitely get like a notebook because like I know the Aleph Bet and I want to review it more. Like this is me like being so flustered and everything with trying a new setup and all that jazz. But it's still nice to have some like a notebook that you can go back to. So Holem Wow is actually an O sound. It's a kind of a elongated O, like yellow. It makes that that sound, that noise, that sound. So Holem Wow. That's what the wow with the. Oh, I'm sorry, I messed that up. This is a whole. I feel like my desk isn't big enough. This is a Holem Wow, and it makes the O sound. Then you have this one is called a Shurik, and it makes a U sound like blue. So it makes a long U sound like blue. All right. So what I want to do is I want to go over the alphabet one more time with you guys, with me and you guys, and then what I want to do is I actually want to look at Genesis. I want to look at Genesis 1:1, and we're just going to go over that with what we've learned. And again, I'm going to be a little bit because I know the Nikud, and I don't want to go over that right now. I don't know if it's necessary to go over it right now, but it's the vowel system, and I'll go over that while I'm reading the verse. But I don't want to like introduce that to you, and then like if you're really trying to like take notes in between me falling and messing with my equipment and stuff, if you're really trying to do that, then I want to be that resource for you to so that you can. I don't want to put too much on you. That's basically what I'm saying. Hold on one second. I don't want to put too much on you to memorize. I'm trying to think of like if I play back, if I do like a small like short playback or something of this stream, do I want to do the fall scene or do I want to try to make it look as educational as possible? Which one's going to get more views? Um, 1 second. Okay. Oh, that's still frozen. All right. So here we go. Going back to this. All right. So we have Aleph, Aleph makes it's a silent Aleph. Bet, vet, gimel, dalet, hey, wow, zion, chet, tet, yod, kaf, ka, lamed, mem, noon, samik, ayin, pei, fe, tzadeh, resh, shin, sin, tav. And then you have your sophites, which is and sophites. I forgot to remember to say this, but the sophites go at the end of a letter. So if any of these letters, the tzayin, the fe, the mem, or the noon, or the kaf, if they're ever at the end of a sentence, they're or at the end of a word. At the end of a word, they're going to be in a sophete form. There's also this letter right here, which is kof, but it's like a kof. I try to pronounce it differently so I know it's different, but it makes a Q sound. All right. Tzadeh, fe, mem, noon, and then kof. And then, of course, you have your holam wow and your shurik. Okay. All right. So now that we've got that, and again, I don't. Whenever I teach something, because I know that people can. I know that people can get bogged down by stuff like that. I usually tell people like, "Hey, man, like you're I'm gonna go over a lot of stuff. You're not gonna get this the first time. You're just not." However, you're not gonna get it the first time. However, if I go over it like over and over and over again, like you'll get it. You'll get it after a while if I go over it a bunch. So, sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. I was trying to get my phone camera back up and running, but it's not doing it. Guys, stick with me here because I'm going to pull up some Old Testament here. All right, we might be back in business with my phone camera. But it's going to face into my closet now. Yeah, it's going to face into my closet. Let me bring it over here. So this is it right here. This is the magic. This is the magic of doing things like this. Boom. All right, we're back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity. All right, here we go. Stand by, guys. Stand by. Stick with me. Stick with me, guys. Don't get bored yet. Don't get bored yet. All right. Ooh, sorry. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to go to some Hebrew scriptures. We're going to look at Sefaria.com. It's SEFAR. It is SEFARIA, Sefaria.com. And we're going to look at some Hebrew scriptures. And we're going to check it out and we're going to see what I'm going to try to help you like I'm going to try to read. I read like a 5-year-old trying to read English, right? But it's me trying to read Hebrew. So just bear with me, and you'll kind of see where it is. So here we go. I'm gonna go, and then I tried to do picture in picture, but it's not doing picture in picture. I thought I had it set to picture in picture, but it's not doing it. Oh, I know what this is. Okay. So there we go. All right. So we're gonna go back over here. This is Safaria.com. I want to make it. Here we go. All right. So here we are. We are in Hebrew. So now I'm going to bring my pen back up. We're going to, there we go. So here we go. So here you can see all the Hebrew letters and everything like that. And then underneath them is what's called the nikud. This is the vowel system, because if you don't have this, if you don't have these things underneath it, you're going to have what kind of archaeologists see. They don't see the nikud underneath it. There are some manuscripts that have nikud, but most of them don't. Most of them, it's just the consonants. It's just the like you have the aleph, you have the bet, resh, all that alphabet that we went over. That's all you would see. You would not see the little dots and everything like that. I remember the first time I saw the dots, I got kind of overwhelmed, and I was like, "How am I supposed to read this? I don't know." So, anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to read the Hebrew, and I'm going to do it kind of the way I'm going to show you kind of the way that I view it. I'm trying to, okay, the way that I would do it. And what I would do is I would take a notepad and I would write the word down, and then I would write down the transliteration, if you will. So here we go. We're going to start with this word right here. So we have a bet. We have a bet, and I'm going to write this right to left here. Actually, let me do it in black. And let's go a little bit smaller. So we have bet. Then the next letter right here is a resh. This is an aleph, but aleph is silent. Then we have the shin, which is an sh. Then we have the yod, and then we have the tav, but it does not have the dagesh, so it has a th sound. So what we would do with this, without the nikud, what we would do is we would bershith. However, you have these nikud, which fills in the gaps between the consonantal sounds. So let's rewrite this with those things, and I'm going to show you how I do it. And again, I know you don't know nikud yet, so we would learn as we're kind of learning as we go, and then maybe like the next time I do this particular stream, a Hebrew stream, what we could do is go over the nikud. But so we have bet, and then we have this right here. This is called the schwa, and it gives an E sound. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. In this case, it does. Confusing, I know. All right. Hold on, because sometimes I can't remember the okay. So this one, I know it's an E. Okay, so this one is called a tsere. This is a tsere, and it gives it well, first we have the resh. So that's one thing. Again. So the nikud, you do the consonant first, so you would do the bet first, and then you do the schwa, so you do be, be. Then you do the resh, and then it has the tsere underneath it, and it gives an E sound. So you do bere. Then again, this is silent because there's no consonantal sound there. So, but what that does too, if it's there, if the aleph, what? So you might be asking, well, what's the aleph there for? If it's not doing anything, it kind of gives a break. So sometimes I like to do this right here to put a apostrophe right here, so it gives you a break in the word. So bere, and then you would come to the next. You have the shin, And this letter right here is an I vowel. It's called a shirik. So that's going to give you an I sound. Then you have the yod. Now these two together make its own sound. So it's actually going to be more like a Y sound. And then you have the TH. So bereshith. Bereshith. So that's this first word is bereshith. 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 Then you have the bet. This is called a comet. I know that one because I see it all the time. An A, that gives you an A sound. Then you have the resh. Then you have another comets, A sound, and then you have the aleph at the end. So you have bereshith bara. Bereshith bara. All right. Now we have this next word right here. Some people might recognize this word just for the simple fact that it's, they see it all over t-shirts and stuff. How long have we been going here? I don't know. There's no timer on this thing. I've been doing this for almost an hour. Let's go ahead and we'll finish Genesis. And I'll show you how I'm reading it and everything like that. And then what we'll do is next time I do a stream, so my next stream is probably going to be a mattnews.biz. And then I'll do another Hebrew stream another day. But let's finish up our this first line. Okay? So this word, some people are probably going to recognize it just because they've seen it on t-shirts and stuff. So this is Aleph, right? So Aleph is usually silent, but it's got Nikud underneath it. So whatever the Nikud is, gives the Aleph its sound. Okay? So what we have here is this is, I know what sound it makes already, but I gotta Chotif Segal. Chotif Segal. Now, this is actually, it's called a half vowel, but the reason it's called a half vowel is because it's basically two vowels mixed together. So you have this one, these three dots, and that is a segal. That is a segal. I think the word segal is grapes, like a cluster of grapes together. So you have these three right here, but then you also have the let me get a bigger pen here. Yeah, so you have the three, you have the segal, but then you also have the schwa mixed in there, and that creates this chotif segal. Okay, now the sound that the chotif segal gives is an E sound, an E sound. So you have an E, I mean like eh, it gives an eh sound. So you have eh. I thought I just changed you to a thinner. So you have we'll write it up here. Eh. All right, so this is the lamed, the lamed. L. This little dot up here is a nikud. It's just not found under, it's found over. It is called, I believe it's called a cholam. Yep, it's called a cholam. So that gives you an O sound. Some of you might already be guessing what this word is if you've never seen it before. So you have elo, then you have the het here, the het, and it has the what is that? It's an I sound. Shirik. But because you have this yod here, so I was wrong on this one right here. This is one vowel. So whenever you see the yod and you see this one in front of it here underneath the, so yeah, if you have a consonant with the shirik underneath it, when you have a consonant with a shirik underneath it and there's a yod, this is actually the vowel. So this is the vowel. This is a shirik yod, and it gives you an E sound, but like a long one, like green, right? So what we would say is this one, you have like an E, but most people transliterate it this way. I'm jumping the gun here because you have to do the het first. So you have a het here. Then you have the I here. And again, some people transliterate it this way. That's the way you're mostly going to see it transliterated, but then you can also do it with 2 E's here. But I'm going to do it with the I because some people might get mad if I don't do it that way. So I. All right, and then at the end of this word, you have the mem. So feet is the final form of the mem. It's an M. So you have Elohim. That's what this word is right here, Elohim. All right, so you have Bereshit bara Elohim. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do this really quick. You have the, again, I don't remember the names because I don't think it's important to remember the names of these as much as it is what sound does it make. So this is an E. And so the Aleph is silent. So it's, you give it this Nikud sound. So it's an E. And then you have the Tav, but it has the TH sound because there's no Dagesh in the middle of it, so it's not hardened. So you have Bereshit bara Elohim et Ha. Or that's an H. See, that's what I'm saying. I saw it and I immediately ha. But it's the het sound. Then you have this sound right here. This is an A, and you'll learn this one as you know if I do another stream because the fall kind of has me very messed up now. But we'll go over the Nikud. So you have a het, then you have this Nikud here. Then you have shin, which gives you a SH. It is doubled. Or, yeah, it has a dogish in the middle. So what does that dogish mean? It means that you double the letter. You double the letter. So you would almost do this. So if you were to syllabalize this, you would do ha. So you do hash. And then you'd start it again with an SH. This dogish is a doubling dogish. You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that unless you studied it a little bit. So you hasha. But what I want you to focus on, so that's a rule. And it's going to seem like, oh man, there's so many rules. How do I know what's freaking going on? What am I doing here? What is he doing here? He's not teaching us anything. What I want you to focus on is the letters. What the letters and what sound is the letters making. Okay? Focus on that. Don't focus on don't focus on anything else that I'm teaching here. What I'm trying to do here is just to transliterate it for you, and hopefully you'll pick up on, oh, that's an Aleph, that's a Bet, that's a Vet, that's a Tav. That's what I want you to focus on while I'm transliterating this. Okay, so let's go back to it here. I didn't want to scold you. I just wanted to give you kind of context so that hopefully you're not thinking I'm going too fast, because I'm not, because you're gonna. If I were to teach this as a class, one, I wouldn't fall, so I wouldn't look like an idiot. Two, I would have prepared like a week in advance. It wouldn't have been such a last minute thing. But we're gonna go over the same stuff like a lot. So imagine this is me starting this class, and we're going over the alphabet. We're gonna go over this again, and again, and again, and you're gonna get it. All right. So here we are. We're transliterating this word right here. So we have the het. We have this vowel here. It's ah sound. Then we have the shin. And this has an ah sound to it, but with the doubling dagesh, you put the vowel at the last doubling. So again, it doubles itself. So you put hash, sha, and this is actually going to get longer. So let's start this over again here. So you have hash, sha. You have the mem. This nikud is an A sound. Now, see, you might be asking, well, why isn't this a vowel sound like the other one is? One is because of the nikud that's underneath it. The second is because the yod has its own nikud underneath it, which definitely tells you this is its own letter. Okay, so the yod makes a Y sound. This nikud is the shirik, which is an I sound. And then you have the mem, so feet, which is an M sound. So here we go. Let's read this really quick in our transliterated form. We have Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim. All right. Now let's finish this out here. We have the wow here. So we would do wow. Some people would do it as a vav, so V, but we're going to do it as wow. I believe this is silent, so I'm not going to put it there. No, it's not silent. So there's a rule of these. This again, that's the schwa. There is a vocal schwa and a silent schwa. I don't know exactly which one this is, so I'm going to err on the side of vocal. So we'll put an E here. That's what if it is vocal, it's going to give you an E sound. But what we'll do is we'll put a little thing right there to let us know to break it up. Now this again is this word, same thing, but it just has this beginning on it. It has a prefix on it. So ve'ef or we'ef. All right, and then I'm going to do this really quick. Rets. So we have their het, we have the aleph, and the aleph has this. Is that a comment or a patak? Comments. So this T looking thing is a comment, and it gives an ah sound. Now there's just like the alphabet has the we'll go over that when I go over Nikud, but it gives you an ah sound. So we have ha ah, then we have the resh, and then we have the segal underneath it, which gives you an e sound, and then we have the tzadeh in its final form, its so feet form at the end, which gives you a t S sound. So here we go. Now that we have this all transliterated. So and we read it again from right to left. It's Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'eth haaretz, which is when God began to create the heaven and the earth. So Bereshit, we translate this as in the beginning, or when God began. And the thing is it's not really when God began. You can translate that way. I mean, it doesn't lose a translation. But Bereshith, if you look at it in the Blue Letter Bible, it's first things. Or you can almost translate it as first. But in the beginning is pretty good. So you could say first. Bara is breath. Bara, or breathed. Is that what that means? Let's look it up real quick. Because I'm not trying to translate anything here. So we go to Blue Letter Bible. Let's look up Genesis 1. Okay, so bara, just like created. He created. To create, to shape, to form. Bara, primitive root to create, to cut down. So anyways, so let's go back here. So we have this God. So first, so first created God, and I'm going to put this because of this. You could put this, but I know that ruffles a lot of feathers. A lot of times, if this is speaking of the one true God, it'll say like the Lord your God. It'll have Yahweh Elohim in there. So whenever it's because there's also verses. Let's not do that. So we'll just put that's more theology than Hebrew. So God. So Elohim is God. So in the beginning, God. Eth, eth, or first thing. First created God. I believe eth is the. Yeah, it's a definite sign of a definitive direct object. So you could say. So you could say God, the, so Hashemayim is, but Ha is also. So maybe this is two. I think that's what it is. So God to the heavens, or we could even say the skies, but we'll say the heavens. The heavens and to the earth. First, created God to the heavens and to the earth. So the first thing that God created was the heavens and the earth. That's so in Hebrew you would say Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim wa et haaretz. Aretz, which is eretz, is the word, and that's land. So when we say earth, and this is one theological statement I want to make, is so earth is the word. It is. I think it's. Oh nope. It's Segal. Is the word Eretz. Eretz. And that word is land. Land. Like as in the dirt, land that you stand on. It's not the entire globe. It's not the earth. Because if you think about it, pictures of the earth only came about in like the 50s, you know, or no, it's a long time before then. But definitely not in the time that Genesis was written. Nobody knew what the earth looked like. They didn't know it was a globe. I mean, think about Galileo. He came hundreds, if not thousands of years after this. And so they didn't think about a round earth. They didn't think about the United States and in Africa and everything like that. They thought about, well, this is where I'm standing. So God created this land, and God created what's up there. God created what's up there, and he created what's down here. So the first thing that God created was, first created God the heavens and the earth. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim wa et haaretz. That's Hebrew. I know I said I was just going to do the Aleph Bet, but so what I want to do right now is I want to close it out because I feel like this has gone long, and I feel like if this was a first lesson, it would probably intimidate a lot of people. That comes with the territory of just not really super duper being prepared. But what I want to do is I want to go over this again, but I just want to talk about the consonants. So we got Bet. We have Bet Resh. We have Aleph, which is silent. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this for silent. Silent. Then we have Shin. We have this Yod. We'll put that there. And then we have Tav. Then we have Bet. We have Resh. Then we have Aleph. Aleph. Then we have Aleph. We have Lamed. Put an L there. We have Het. We have Yod. We have Mem. Mem Sofit. It's the final form of Mem. Then we have Aleph. Then we have our Tav here with a TH. We have Het. We have Shin. We have Mem. We have Yod. And we have Mem. We have Wow. We have Aleph. We have Tav. We have Het. We have Aleph. We have Resh. And we have Tzadeh. See how that is? So let's do it from left to right. So if we were to do it from right to left, that's how we would transliterate just the consonants, just the letters, the Hebrew letters that we learned today. So we have Bet, Resh, Aleph, Shin, Yod, Tav, Bet, Resh, Aleph, Aleph, Lamed, Het, Yod, Mem, Sofit. Then we have Aleph, Tav, Het, Shin, Mem, Yod, Mem, Sofit. Wow, Aleph, Tav, Het, Aleph, Resh, Tzadeh. Bereshit bara Elohim, Eth Hashemayim, Eth Haaretz. All right. So I think I'm going to end it there because I feel like it kind of got wonky and crazy and all kinds of weirdness. Because again, guys, the purpose for this first stream here is so that I can test out my news. So hopefully it went well as far as that goes. Hopefully this sounds great. I do want to brag about this a little bit. So this one, what's the name of it again? So this is the tone. This microphone is called the Tonar. I don't remember the model number or anything like that, but it's a Tonar podcasting microphone, and it's $60. $60, which I think is a steal for a microphone like this. This one, so I watched a video of a guy and he had like $1,000 microphone. I don't know what company brand name it was or anything like that. But he had a $1,000 microphone. And then he had it matched up against this one, and he would talk back and forth between the two. And this one $60, the other one $1,000. I couldn't hear a difference, and so I was like, "Give me the $60 one," because even if it has like what he was saying was like the lows aren't that great or anything like that, and I was like, whatever. So I was like, I could totally deal with that. So that's what I decided to do. I decided that, hey, I'm going to get ask for this microphone for Christmas, and if I can't get it for Christmas, then I'll save up money to get it. And I feel like it's worked out pretty good so far. And then again, the setup with the camera, like I like the way that looks. Like if it didn't die and then I didn't fall down, I think that this would be a really good setup. So next time I'm going to make sure that I have something connected into my phone, and to make sure that it's powered and everything like that. But I think it's worked out pretty good. I hope you think so too. I'm gonna go back and watch this, and it's gonna be pretty stinking awesome. And then Tuesday, hopefully, I'll be back doing episodes of MattNews.biz again. We'll probably start our episodes back up. I think I was doing. I can't remember what time I was starting those things. I think 8:30. So I'm probably gonna do that 8:30 again. Hey, what's up? What's up, Andy? Hope you're doing good. I don't want to wrap it up and just like totally close it out. But if anybody have any questions about Hebrew or the setup again, because again, this was a setup test run. Really, that's what it was. So that's what I want to, I want to talk. I just started talking about Hebrew because I thought it'd be cool to kind of go over the Hebrew Aleph Bet. If nobody is familiar with the Hebrew Aleph Bet, I thought it would be a cool thing to do. So, does anybody have any questions or anything like that? It's funny because it says I've only been running my stream for 20 minutes. I don't believe that. I don't believe you, sir. I don't believe you, sir. So Nikki put the if you're interested in the microphone setup, Nikki put the link in the description below or in the comment section, so you can totally check that out. So I think other than the big fall and so Andy, MattNews.biz, I was trying to do that weekly, which I want to do that again weekly. So, but I want that show to be me lining up guests and talking about certain things. And so, no, you're cool, man. Don't worry about it. You can go back and watch me fall down. I fall down at some point in time. I think I fall down like halfway through the stream or whatever. But what was I saying? Oh, yes. How often do I plan on doing the stream? I plan on doing it. I want to go back to doing my mattnews.biz podcasting stream. So what I do is while I record my mattnews.biz podcast, I take the video after the fact, and then I pull it. But I might. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to strain my computer all at one time. Like I don't want to do too many processes all at one time. So like I like to take the audio from the video and just strip it. But I might, just so I get a cleaner sound. One thing I'm going to do is instead of using Restream's service, connecting service and everything like that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use Skype. I'm going to start doing that. So I'm going to start Skyping in my guests. And then I'm thinking about recording it locally. So recording the audio locally. So hopefully it'll sound better, and hopefully I won't have as many audio mistakes, because I actually have an episode that I'm probably not going to release just because the audio was so wonky and it's going to take me so long. So I'm going to have that guest come back and do another episode. We're not going to talk about the same things, but I'll have him back on and kind of redo his podcast, just because the audio. And again, I think it was because of the setup that I had, because I was using an old, like an old little thing, to plug it into, and it wasn't working well with the computer because I think it was just so old. Like I literally found it at work, and they were like, "We're never going to use that. We're just going to throw it away." So I was like, "I'll take it to start my podcast," and it was great for what it was. It was great for the time, but hopefully this is going to be a way better setup here. I'm also using this setup because I didn't have as many audio issues using this out instead of Restream, and so I'm hoping that this is going to be better. What was I saying? Oh, so I'm going to be using Skype, going to be using this, going to be recording the audio locally, so hopefully it sounds better. MattNews.biz is I talk a lot about the Bible because I like talking about the Bible, but MattNews.biz is kind of whatever I want to talk about. I might talk about it depends on who the guest is as well. So like if I ever have my buddy Ken Mady on again, which I will, we're probably going to talk about either post-millennialism, conditionalism, conditional immortality, which are all kind of Bible theology concepts. The guy that I'm going to have come back on and redo his episode, he's a TikTok Christian guy. So we'll probably talk about TikTok. We'll probably talk about that kind of stuff. I had a Messianic Jew come on, and we talked about his theology and his beliefs. I had I've had a couple other people too. Like one time I had my buddy. He's a bodybuilder guy. I had him and we talked about his book that he and another guy wrote. I had a buddy of mine. His name was John Major. We talked about what was it? Net neutrality. I don't post the topics ahead of time because a lot of times I grab my guests like a week before, and so I try to I do want to try to schedule them more ahead of time so that I can announce my next guest during the podcast. But usually, yeah, I think about whatever, and then talk to them about that. Usually, what I'll do is the day of or the day before, I make my graphic and I post it out, and then you'll know kind of what the topic is about. But I try to do like quippy titles. So, like, I had a buddy of mine come on, and we didn't really have anything in particular to talk about, and we started the episode talking about art because he's a chalk artist. And then we started talking about different religious aspects and the church, church and politics, church and like the recent election. We started talking about that kind of stuff, which it wasn't necessarily a natural progression, but it was one that we discussed earlier. But like that show was just kind of like everything, nothing in particular, but everything important is what I called that one. And that's what it was. It was just kind of like a whatever we want to talk about. It doesn't have to necessarily be important, but sure, kind of a thing, you know. So check those out. Again, I'm gonna hopefully start those back up on Tuesdays. Those episodes usually start around 8:30. This stream is probably going to be like a Hebrew / Bible study stream. I was going to do the Bible study stream tonight. I was going to do a Bible study tonight, which is just me kind of reading through a portion of scripture for the very first time. And then, oh man, I think my phone died again. Yeah, so you can probably hear me, but can't see me. Let's switch it up here again. All right. So I'm going to have to figure this out because my phone is like dying really quickly because it's just a lot for it to do. Maybe I'll just stick with this and it'll be fine. Whatevs. But anyways, so podcast Tuesdays, I think that's where I was going. I don't know if I want to give this a day or time because there's just like my schedule, like I got so much stuff going on that sometimes, especially like during this season, the Christmas season, because I'm a video producer at a church. So this season was super hectic, and like that's one of the reasons why I haven't been doing my podcast lately is because of that. And then too, like I was kind of hoping for this microphone. I really wanted to get this before doing another episode. That's pretty much it. Does anybody else have any more questions? Any Hebrew questions? Any podcast questions? Anything like that? One thing I want to do for mattnews.biz though is I want to get so I've got like 4 books I'm reading right now. So one of those is the Blue Parakeet, and it's called the Blue Parakeet. It's rethinking how you read the Bible. Another one I'm reading, they're all kind of right here. Another one I'm reading, and I've been reading this forever. Like I've been stuck at page 79, which actually, as fast as I'm going through this book, like I should be done with this book. I might go back to this book and just finish it up because it's only 193 pages long. But this one's Renee Girard, I See Satan Fall Like Lightning. So this book is like trying to rethink the way that you read the Bible. This one is more this like Renee Girard, his big thing is he's an anthropologist, and he actually wasn't a Christian for a long time. And then what he did was, because his family was Catholic, what he did was he figured that what he'll do is he'll look at the Bible anthropologically. So he compared them to mythology, and then he saw that the Bible differed from the normal the normal layout of mythology, because that's what a lot of people compare it to. A lot of people will compare the Bible to mythology, but he found that the Bible did things differently. Like the Bible, like it didn't elevate its hero; it brought its hero down. Um, and so he compares the story of Jesus, the gospel, um, and so that's what he does. He compares it to that. Then I'm also reading this book right here, which a buddy of mine, you can get this online for free, but he printed versions for us and about that. But this one's called Paradise Restored: A Biblical Theology of Dominion. That is hold on. That is an eschatology book, so it's about like kind of like in the Christian view of end times and stuff like that. Yeah, and then I'm telling you, man, I've got like a billion books that I'm doing. And then this book, I thought that if I do more Hebrew stuff, I might dip a little bit into this book right here, which it's more of the like the spiritual nature of the letters, the mystical Aleph Bet is what he calls it. Which this is a cool book because it looks like it's all handwritten. You know, that's a pretty cool touch here. So like here's the first. It says Aleph. So he reads Aleph is the first letter. It has no sound, only the sound you make when you begin to make every sound. Open your mouth and begin to make a sound. Stop. That is Aleph. It is the letter beginning the first of God's mysterious 70 names, Elohim. God, it also begins the most. And see, this is the thing. It's like it's written all kinds of weird ways. The most important thing about him, Echad, one. Know that God is one, the first and the last, the only one. So a lot of cool stuff in this book here. Are any available on Audible? I prefer audiobooks. Physically reading for long periods puts me to sleep. Yeah, I know. Like I'm trying to read this one when I go to sleep, and like it takes me so long. And the same thing with this. That's why this one's taking me so long. I think these are all on Audible. I'm not sure. I know this one's on Audible. I don't know if this one's on Audible. I don't think that. I don't. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this one back here. I don't know if the Paradise Restored. I don't know if that one is on Audible, but what you can do is you can check out my buddy, his podcast, Bible Detox podcast. He started our Bible Academy. He started reading the chapters, so you can, if you want to check out Paradise Restored. Check. Okay. This thing. All right. It's not this. It's like a whole another thing. Anyways. So you should be able to hear me now. What was I saying? Oh, Paradise Restored is on. It's probably not on Audible, but my buddy does a podcast called Bible Academy. You can find it on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that jazz. And he reads it out loud. So, anyways, that's pretty much it. This thing can go on forever. It's already 10 o'clock, and I started at 8:30. Hopefully, I'll have all my kinks worked out next time when I do my stream, or at least when I do my podcast. But at least I got this cool microphone, and hopefully it sounds pretty good. Like even with me moving it, like I that's one of the things I've noticed about podcasters is, and not that I want to move my microphone because other podcasters move it, but like, if I want to adjust in the middle of the show, I don't want it to make some kind of noise. Like if I'm, looking at something over here, I want to be able to move it or move it around with me and be able to talk. Hopefully it sounds good. Hopefully it sounds really good. Well, that's awesome. If you can't hear me move this at all, that's great. All right. So I think I'm going to be done here because I've got to work in the morning. I've got to go. I work at a church, so I've got to go to work in the morning. All right, guys. Hopefully this, if you stuck around for the Hebrew part, if you were around for the Hebrew stuff, hopefully it was helpful. If not, I'm sorry. Hopefully I'll be helpful more on other, entries of this Hebrew kind of stuff. But Hebrew is such a cool language to learn, and that's actually that's one of my New Year's resolutions is to actually learn Hebrew and be able to fluently read it and start to learn the actual words and speak it, and then to be able to actually like interpret it. That's what I hope to start to do. So, anyways, gonna go ahead and end this, guys. Guys, I'm so happy that if you stuck around, if you watched for a little bit, if you're gonna tune in later, I apologize for everything that went on during this. During this, but there's a lot of kinks I got to work out. Like I always do. I feel like I have to work out kinks in every single episode of anything I ever put out. But we'll get it all figured out, and we'll get a good podcast going here and a good stream going here. So, guys, one plug I want to make is I just started a Facebook page for mattnews.biz. If you can please go check that out on Facebook. If you go to mattnews.biz and mattnews.biz in your address bar, it's going to take you to my personal Facebook page, but I think the mattnews.biz official Facebook page is in there somewhere. Hopefully you can find it. But I started that page, and that's kind of where I want to start putting content or just things that I throw out there or anything like that. So that's it. I'm just going to keep on talking like this forever, never. But I'm going to go ahead and let everybody go. Hope to see you guys I plan on putting on a podcast stream on Tuesday. So hopefully I'll see you guys on Tuesday. But if I don't, stay tuned for more Matt News.